Well, a big g'day to all my mates out there in YouTube land. Well, I've managed to get lucky one more time. I did do a video, I don't know, 6-12 months ago, and I called it the Valencia Queens of YouTube. Well, these are the original crew, all right? And they've agreed to come back on, and we're going to kick around a few topics. It's going to be another open forum, so we can discuss all the different things that, you know, I meet foreigners that want to ask questions, and who better than these guys to do just that. So who are they? Okay, we have Shay. Life with Shay. If you've never seen her on YouTube, check her out. Very interesting, beautiful, you know, well done videos. Jen? So now Jen had a channel. It was called Adventures with Jenny, but now, because she had to, for whatever YouTube problem, she started another one, and it's called Jenny's Philippine Adventures. Okay? And then we have Miss Giselle, and Giselle has
112 subscribers. Inside the Philippines.
I didn't forget, I just wanted to tease it, Giselle. Now, so, what are we going to talk about? Well, I did a video a few weeks ago in relation to independent Filipino women. Now, that sort of is it's a vast statement, really. And the observation I made was that when I came here around 2004, a lot of the guys were in their 60s, 70s, and they wanted young girls, like early 20s, mid 20s, and most of them took them back to Australia or the US, and they worked for 20 years. Now, what's happening now, 20 years later, is that either the husband has passed away or they've got a divorce, and the women have moved back. And they've worked as well. I mean, they work, even overseas workers that went, you know, say 10 or 15 years ago are coming back here as independent Filipino women. And you just didn't see that 20 years ago. But the other ironic observation I made was the guys that I've met in the last year all prefer to have ladies at least in their 30s or even in their 40s, 50s. They tend to prefer to have that. So, with no further ado, I'm going to put this forum open to these lovely ladies and see what their opinion is on that particular issue to start with. Ladies, who's first?
Giselle.
I knew this was going to happen.
Because it's close.
Ma'am Shay?
Yeah.
Have you got anything to add to that particular topic? What do you think? Is there more independent Filipino women now than say 10 years ago?
Statistically, I don't really have any idea, but I would say that life or times have changed, or I would say, yeah, it's changing. I would say that we have so many working women or working girls now. The modern day age, so you can see a lot of working women.
Yeah, so they're independent, but what about, say, women in their 40s or 50s that have been abroad and have come back and they have their own house, their own car, and they own all of that now. You just didn't see that years ago. They've been abroad, they've achieved all these wonderful things, and they've come back here and retired in the Philippines.
I personally actually know several Filipinas that are actually like that. Like you mentioned earlier, their partners have died, and you know, they're already. I mean, they were once fully dependent on their Western partner, but they have died, so now they have no option but to make money themselves. And yeah, there are you know, Filipinas like that who are moving back to the Philippines and are, you know, who have made a fortune for themselves. But yes, it is true. Like it is true. We have girls like that.
Yeah, they've been abroad or they've just been businesswomen all their life, but they're independent. They've got their own money, their own house, their own car.
Yeah, so since I'm 1999, so I don't really know much more about the 40s or 50s, but I would look it in these generations right now,
Right.
generations right now. And I have noticed that once a Filipino will come to other country, they will mostly, I'm not sure, but I think, some will adopt the culture. Maybe because of the people around them, they become also westernized, like what Jenny said. But when they go back here, with, like for example, their partner passed away or whatsoever, they need to go back in the Philippines. I think they become independent because, of course, they need to eat, so they have to do something to survive every day. So, yeah, I would look at
Right.
as independent.
But so they're independent and they've had 20 years of working abroad and they have a good house.
Yeah, but
nice house. Okay, so just moving on. The next video linked to what I was talking about as far as independent women was I got a few comments talking about why don't you discuss what actually happens to women when they go abroad. So to, again, America, Australia, and this Westernization label came up saying they change. They, if they're over in the West, they become westernized. Shay, back to you. What is the meaning of a westernized or westernization Filipino?
I have the same question. What exactly is Filipino westernization? I'm under probably a lot of people would think that Filipino westernization means her adapting the Western culture's mindset, the way they do things, the way they think about things. That can be it. But like, I don't exactly have an in-depth understanding of what westernization is other than adapting a Western culture.
Yeah.
That's a good answer, yeah. Because when I come here, I want to Filipinonize or I want to Easternize my way of thinking and become more absorbed in the culture of Southeast Asia. So it's only natural that if a Filipino went to America or Australia, she would want to adopt the cultures of that country, to fit in, and because it's absorption of another culture. But I think places like Manila, Cebu, Hong Kong, is that not westernized? It's sort of like they're modern, westernized type cities, even though they still retain whatever culture that they have. Jen. So,
Yeah,
what do women going abroad become westernized, and what does, in your opinion, description, what is westernization?
Right? So yeah, it's a vision. It depends to the country. Yeah, many women going to or married to foreigners, and they went to their country, and then it how many years they living there in the or husband, like let's say in US or the transport or US, they will adapt the culture. And then they get back here in the Philippines. It's look like there's something changed. They become the Filipina. It's become westernized.
Okay.
Westernized.
Yeah, so they've changed.
Yeah.
Okay, Giselle, westernization. Or if you were already westernized without going to the West. Is that possible? That you can be westernized?
This is one of the reasons why some other foreigners will not bring their Filipinas in States, because the word westernization. I agree on Shay. My understanding on westernization is if the girl is not used to makeup here in the Philippines, so when they go to USA, they feel like oh, I want to be beautiful like them as well because they look so beautiful and I look like just a very simple girl. So I think I consider it as being westernized with the people around you, with the brands, the clothes, the bags that people were wearing, and then you feel jealous of it. So I totally agree on Shay, and yeah, like what I've said, they're scared of bringing Filipinas in States because they're scared of being westernized. They're not gonna be the Filipina that they've met before.
Why?
It
Why?
will
What? How do they change?
Like what I'm because of the culture, the people in
Yeah,
but
be more specific. But what's the attitude dynamics that changes?
I want to add something
For sure.
to that. If I go to the US, I most definitely will change my ways and my mindset. Why? Because I'm no longer in the Philippines. My ways of doing things and my thinking about things no longer align, or it does not apply to the US. It's so very Philippines, right? So there is a need of adapting to that culture, or there is a need to change your ways and to change your mindset.
Just like I adapt to the Philippine culture.
Yes, exactly.
You know, and I live what I'd consider to be a province up and coming suburbia, but you know, I adapt to Filipino culture. So you're saying if you go to America or Australia, you would adapt, and then that adaptation is translated to Westernization.
And it doesn't have Westernization does not really have to be negative, because people always equate that to be negative. Can we just probably say we have opened our minds to the ways of, to the Western ways, and also when it comes to perspectives or mindset, I wouldn't really say that a Filipina's mindset about a certain thing is going to like completely change. We will still have the Filipino values. We will still have.
Oh, for sure. You guys will never lose that.
Yes,
It's-
exactly.
It's a native thing.
Yes, exactly. So it really is just the way we do things is going to be really very different, and somehow our mindset is going to be like a little bit, change.
All right. So, in summary, the general consensus is that Westernization is it does exist.
It does exist. Yes.
It does exist.
yeah,
It does.
even here
It
in
doesn't.
the Philippines.
It doesn't. It does. It does. It does. It doesn't.
This has
All right. I don't know if we've got time to elaborate on why it doesn't. But all right. Quickly, why doesn't it? Hey, come on. Why doesn't it exist?
maybe because by experience already, or
Oh, they've sort of westernized before. Okay.
yeah.
All right. Now you've clarified that. That's fine. All right. Over to you, ladies. Is there anything else? Another topic that we can have a?
I'm gonna ask you.
Yeah, you can
Do
ask.
Filipinas westernized already? Here.
Yeah.
I think so. I think so, and I think the main reason is internet. I think being online for the last 10 or whatever years, they've absorbed westernized mannerisms that they've adapted to their. I mean, just ring up a call center and tell me if those girls aren't westernized. I mean, they get to talk to so many people around the world. So there could be a program, subconscious westernization before you even go to a city. But definitely, westernization exists. It does.
Yeah.
Even with
Nowadays.
us. Even with
Thanks,
us
Jen.
leaving the country.
Good on you. All right. Ladies, anything you want to chat about?
Yeah, I was just going to say, westernization does definitely exist, even without leaving the country.
Yeah.
Because like you said, they.
All right. That's the point you're making.
Yeah. We feel already westernized here.
So they can be westernized without going to a Western country.
But again, I would like to reiterate that it doesn't have to be. It can be negative, but there are also positives in it. Like, it doesn't always have to be negative.
Sorry guys, it's hot here, I've got to tell you.
It is.
We're sitting in some little thing. Yeah, no, all right, so that's it. All right, anything else? While we're all in our little chummy get-together group that happens once a year.
Okay. You've been a long time here already in the Philippines.
Yes, I
right?
have.
So what is your observation about that?
No comment.
No comment.
You said that there are westernized Filipinas, so like westernized and
How do you see
in what way?
westernized? Yes.
Well, I don't think it matters how you go through the forest, but you come out the other side. So it doesn't matter whether you learn to be westernized by talking to Westerners and adapting their what their preferences is in food, or what they do on a Saturday afternoon. Maybe you can be conditioned just by chatting to people in your world of internet. So maybe that's another westernization. The one I guess I was really sort of pointing to was when a Filipino goes to America, Australia, stays there for 10 or 15 years. Do they come back with a different attitude, westernized?
Yeah.
So and yeah, but there's another dimension, and that is, yeah, for sure, if they've been exposed to talking to a lot of foreigners, or a foreigner for a length of time, for sure that foreigner would tell them about his culture, and that is well, a form of westernization, because they start to understand other people's way of life.
I would say we definitely are already westernized. We were colonized by the Americans, right? So we somehow already adapted.
Well, that's an interesting facet. Yeah, but I think the guys that were asking the question to me is the more modern westernization.
Yeah.
How do how they tend to be, which brought us back to the original video, independent, because they stick up for their rights.
I have a question. Do your audience prefer a traditional Filipina or an independent Filipina?
Well, hopefully, guys, you can you might be able to comment about that.
Comment.
Do you like? Would you like
Next time.
a traditional
Comment down.
Filipino, or a slightly westernized or fully baked westernized Filipino? All right, Jen.
What?
Any questions?
No.
No.
As
It's so high.
it's hard to get Jen to sort of stop. Although Giselle may have some contribution.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm good.
what?
Talking next time. Comment down below of what do you prefer in dating? Traditional woman or independent woman? I want to know.
This is a
Right.
great topic for you to discuss.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the person. I mean, some people have a bit of both. All right, guys. Well, thanks for hopefully watching. I don't blame you if you tuned out 20 minutes ago. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Until the next time, thanks for watching. Take care, and thank you very much to the ladies here. Okay.